Hi, everyone. How are you all doing tonight? I am coming to you via the Walmart parking lot. I don't actually think, you can see nada. I'll have to flip it over later and show you. I'm here to talk about what happened with the breakthrough. The last video I posted was for the sleeping bag review, and the one before that was we got a breakthrough. And I wanted to discuss that with you because it is almost like a part two with the restless spirit and listening and feeling like you're stuck. It's almost like the flip side of feeling like you're stuck. And that's the feeling of fear and comfort. There's a quote by a Lebanese poet, and I'm just going to paraphrase it. Comfort is the killer of passion. And it just lands right there. And I'm going to add to it. Fear is also the killer of passion. And fear can also drown and smother your courage, which also leads us to smother our passions, our desires, our dreams. Those things can keep us just as stuck, if not more so. It can completely wipe you out from your strength and your power, and can keep you from moving forward to the things that you really want your life to be about. We often get stuck in 9-to-5s, or a loveless marriage, or a difficult friendship or relationship, or just something that's not driving us. You know, maybe you have something you've always wanted to do. I would just love to interact with you right now. If there's something that you've always wanted to do, please write it in the comments. And also, if you want to include, are you doing it? I hope I don't go on a huge tangent. It's not what I'm meaning to do, but I think it's appropriate in this time. You probably don't know, but I wrote music in Nashville. I also sang a lot. I've had my music played on radio stations throughout New York State, New England, Pennsylvania. Like I said, I wrote music in Nashville. We actually moved to Nashville for several years, and I worked with someone in a very prominent position there, very highly respected. I had some great stories and some amazing things. I sang at several of the famous clubs, including the Bluebird, and I just thought it was the most amazing place to be. And it had been a dream of mine. Not specifically because I am so into country music. I'm not. I'm more into folk, acoustic kind of style, rock. I'm extremely eclectic in that way, but there was a good niche to jump into when writing for others. And I wasn't 20 anymore. I was 34. And I knew that if I could get a hit out there, somebody else singing it, that I would still own that hit and I would be able to sing it wherever I went to, and it would still be mine. So I worked really hard, 2 years just pounding away at my catalog and growing it. And it was something I had always wanted to do. Singing to me was like breathing. It was so important to me. I just loved it. It was my soul's passion. And when I was there and I got that chance, I before I got there, I had always wanted to tour. I had always wanted to tour the US, the world, singing. And I'm going to also couple that with something else that comes to my traveling now and being nomadic. So just give me one sec. But if I forget, remind me about being a teenager. Anyway, being in Nashville was a really special thing, and working with this VIP was mind blowing, spectacular. But something happened, and this VIP suddenly stopped speaking to me. I didn't know what happened. There had been no quarrel or falling out, and I contacted this person several times and I wasn't getting any replies back. And I had just gotten off of my 9 to 5 job, and when I left, I had the radio on and I heard one of my songs. I pulled over, absolutely devastated, crushed. They had changed some of the lyrics. They had changed some of the way that the music sounded, but it was 100% completely my song. I cried. I totally just lost it. I sobbed. And I contacted a music lawyer down there and I talked to them about it. And they said, well, you know what? You definitely have a case. You listen to these 2 songs side by side and you had the connections for it to actually be stolen. And just a little word that when you work with some of the people in the Songwriters Association and some other places, they will tell you, oh, you'll hear all these nightmare stories. Don't believe it. If your song's so good to get stolen, it's not going to be. So, you're just going to have to keep working down here. Well, I'm living proof it did happen. But the lawyer said that there's basically, unless you have millions of dollars at your disposal, you're not going to be able to fight this because this company has been sued before. This record company and these record producers have been sued before for the exact same thing. And they can just bury you and continue to bury you in legal things. So you just will never actually be able to do anything about it. It made me stop singing. That's a big deal. It made me stop singing. It made me stop writing. It still has left this hole in my soul, in my creativity. And for a long time, I didn't even want to, it was just like, no, I don't want it. I don't care. I refused to listen to the radio. Didn't even matter what genre. I was just like, I can't even imagine how many more of my songs will be on there and I don't want to hear it. Fast forward several years later, and I just want to tell you that although it was terrible, and I learned that there are so many sharks in the waters, I learned something else. I had been so excited about living that dream and going for it. I didn't let anything hold me back. I did it. And I went through obstacles and jumped through hoops, and I still did it. And to this day, I don't have regrets. Anger at some of those people? Absolutely. You know what? It happened. It's over with. There's nothing I can do about it. It was just tremendously painful, but I did it. I took the fear, I set it to the side, I took my courage and I found it, and I lived that section of my passion. And now I would really like to find it again. I would like to start playing music again and singing again and writing. And I don't know exactly when that'll come around or if it even will, but it's definitely something that I would like to bring back up in my life. So there's a little story about me. Comfort is, oh, I almost hear somebody saying, what about when you were a teenager? When I was a teenager, I had another dream. And that dream was somehow to save up enough money to get a van and travel cross country. I had lived all over New England for several years and had really wanted to go see the entirety of the country. I had traveled back and forth several times between New York and Hawaii. I went to school in 3 different high schools, one of which was on the island of Oahu, but it had always been flying. I was also born in California, and I had visited California a few times, but my father was Marine Corps, so I traveled all over here and here and here, but it wasn't driving. It wasn't seeing everything that there was to see. So I had this real desire to go and do that. I didn't get the chance as a teenager, but it always stayed there. It was always bubbling inside of me. I always wanted to go and do it. And everything that I did in my life, which was huge and meaningful to me. And again, I will continue to share my story as long as y'all are interested. And that never went away. I always wanted to travel. And fast forward, and I'm going to just talk about right now. I'm not going to go back to any other past travels. But right now, we're in that same kind of space. And I've been very fortunate enough to be able to travel with my daughter. That has also had caveats of difficulties. And when let me see if I can frame this correctly. Whatever your dream is, whatever the size, whatever the scope, whatever, if it's art, if it's technology, if it is travel, if it is cosmetology, whatever your dream might be, don't give up on it. And don't let other people's failures, behavior, or lack of integrity stop you from doing what it is that's in your heart to do. I do believe that we're here for a reason and a purpose, and that we have these desires in our soul to do these things. Don't give up on that. And never, never give up on yourself. The breakthrough. I'm so sorry if this goes all over the place. Again, I'm still learning, to just talk about things. And I mean, you can ask people who know me. This is actually how I speak to friends. The breakthrough. We have been in Oregon for almost 6 months. We've been here since August. We've been stuck physically because we haven't had enough funds for the gas to be able to go. And sometimes those things in itself can just put that damper on your dreams and on your goals, not having enough money. And that's what we were running into trouble with. So 6 months of pretty intense medical treatment, and I'm not ready to discuss that. But it became very comfortable here. And as badly as I want to go, I have a lot of dreams and a lot of desires that I have been holding for a very long time. I've gone through a very hard divorce. We have gone through some very hard financial times. We are still pulling ourselves out of that. There have been other things that we have dealt with in our lives. We have been learning to regain our momentum. We had an amazing road trip from the very peninsula of Washington State up by Olympic National Park all the way down to Crestview, Florida, so that I could continue to go to school. That was another phenomenal feat. And all of these things have blasted me out of my comfort zone to move forward and ahead in the things that I would like to do. I've always had a real passion for travel and for communicating and talking with others and encouraging others and motivating others and myself. It's always a two-way street because this is the life we have. And none of us should feel unhappy in it. If you feel unhappy in your life, I want to encourage you to do something, just even if it's just baby steps every day, do something to make happiness and joy part of it and to move forward into something that really brings you joy and happiness. I say this and I speak this, and it's out of experience because I've had to do the exact same thing. I have had a lot of my happiness and my joy and my dreams and my desires crushed, pulverized to the point where I didn't know if I could get up off the ground. And step by step and little by little baby steps. If it's taking a walk outside, if it's just dreaming about it, if you can dream about the thing that you want to do and write it down. If you're unhappy in your life, pinpoint what it is that's making you feel that way, and then start to make an exit plan. How can you get from here to where the happiness is, to what really brings you that deep joy? These are the things that I am constantly, endlessly striving for. And I just want to share that with you. With our breakthrough, we got enough finances now to be able to move south and hop out of the weather and get to somewhere warmer. We have enough money to do that right now. And that was a huge victory. And yeah, so we get to go from Oregon and do that and have that victory and have that breakthrough. Again, here we are looking at the comfort zone. I have made really good relationship with my doctor. And there's this part of me that says, oh man, I'm going to miss you. To the point of, I don't know if I want to get that far. We've been here long enough. We've made a couple friends. And it's funny because you get that little bit of, I don't know, concrete around your feet that says, well, maybe but then yet you still have that yearning that you really know what it is that you want to do. And you know that you're not really doing it. You know that you're just kind of in a place and you're going this day-to-day thing. And that's okay. But it's becoming your real life. And that is started to replace what you want your real life to be. My biggest goal right now is to build my businesses, and Ruby is completely part of that business with me. She is my business partner. We are working on these businesses. Between YouTube, we're going to be selling merchandise, affiliate marketing, and writing books again, and writing travel pieces. I really want to do that. And Instagram, we're really working towards that level and very excited about it. It's the first time in a long time I have been stoked, super excited, and just raring to go and ready to nail it, just ready to just take on the world and do those things that have just been brewing in here for so long, that have, kept having the brakes put on from one circumstance to the next. Now, the biggest goal, and I'm going to talk about it in another video where I go off on a tangent. You're going to learn that about me. Hopefully you'll stick around and hang out and be cool with it. But it's to get worldwide. We have been to nearly every state in the United States. We haven't seen everything. There's so much to see. There's so many beautiful places. but we've never been across the pond and over the ocean to the Scandinavian countries or Europe or India. You just have this amazing plethora of places and people and cultures, and traveling, just being nomadic like that is everything I want to do. And then I have all these things that I want to do while we're doing it. Filming is so big, and I'm so excited that we get to do this. It's so cold. Yeah, I'm encouraging myself too. And I hope that I encouraged you. And just evaluate what it is in your life. Are you truly happy? And are you living the life that you love and that you want to? For me, this kind of life is a life that I want to live. And I'm so excited that I get to do it. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the conversation. And I am hoping that you have already had your breakthrough and that you are living exactly the way you want to live. And with that too, please put it down in the comments. I really am trying to answer every comment that we get. You can friend me on Facebook. We also have a Facebook page, and our Instagram account is at Adventures in Wilding, and Facebook is Freya Aurora Wilding. You can also look that up. Hit me up with a friend request. And right here in YouTube, I am always trying to, and Insta, I'm always trying to answer everything, all comments, questions. Please engage with the comment section. Tell me, are you living the life that you really want to live? Are you waiting to launch out and get to the place that you want to be? Are you happy? Are you looking for those baby steps to move you forward and propel you step by step? Are you looking at escaping your comfort zone? Do you feel like you already have? I'd love to know those things. If you want to engage, please put it down in the comments and we can have a conversation about it. I am freezing in here right now. Make your happiness a priority. Go out and have your own adventures in wilding. Peace.